Would you agree that 32 degrees Fahrenheit is the freezing point in Fahrenheit?
I honestly wouldn't know. I didn't get a degree. I'm from the UK. I don't teach any actual courses. I've not taken a class now since I actually joined Selbrine. So I have a blog.
What is freezing in Fahrenheit?
Don't know, but it's 0 degrees Celsius.
Interesting and notable. You did not include that depiction in your timeline that you discussed with the jury yesterday, did you? That there's a message received from Jen McCabe. Jen! Good afternoon, Mr. Whiffin. I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Morning, Dr. Welcher.
Good morning. We haven't been formally introduced. Your whole name?
Robert Alessi, sir.
Robert Alessi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm sure old Bob Alessi never started a cross-examination like that, but today we are going to focus on Ian Whiffin. Sir Ian Whiffin from the UK. Let's keep watching.
Cell phone data, when correct and when correctly analyzed, can help tell a story of what may have happened under various circumstances, correct?
Correct.
Literally seconds on cell phone data can be significant, correct?
Correct.
This is the arrival of John O'Keefe's phone at 34 Fairview, correct?
Correct.
12:24:59, about 21 seconds later after arrival, we have device unlock with Face ID, correct?
Correct.
This is in trial number 2, and if you look there at 12:24 and 59 seconds, John O'Keefe unlocks his cell phone using his Face ID. He had just arrived at 34 Fairview, and now we're going to see exactly when and where old Brian Higgins attacked him. Let's keep watching.
Read message, you coming here?
You coming here? You coming here? You coming here?
You coming here with 3 question marks.
Followed by 3 question marks.
12:20:49, it says message received from someone listed in contact as Brian Higgins.
Brian Higgins?
Do you see that?
Correct.
This is by far the biggest piece of evidence, the smoking gun that points the finger right at that big boy, Brian Higgins. Let's keep watching.
The message, you coming here, is reading the message from Brian Higgins, correct?
Correct.
You didn't note that in the timeline that was from Brian Higgins, correct?
No, it was just highlighting the fact that a message was read.
Throughout his cross-examination, old Bob Alessi is proving one big theme. Whiffy failed to include specific pieces of evidence in his timeline when he presented it on direct examination.
And that the contents of the message were, you coming here.
You didn't note in this entry, when it was read by John, that message was from Brian Higgins.
Brian Higgins?
Correct?
Correct.
The time of 12:25:09. Device locked with lock button. Someone has to actually manipulate their phone and hit it, right?
Correct.
That I'm just looking for an answer of whether on this timeline you included the analysis that you had in your report that the device at this time was moving west from the roadside towards the house. Did you include it in that timeline?
No, I left that out of the timeline.
Bob Alessi also picked up on a huge fact. The data indicates that John's phone was moving west towards the house when he exited Karen's vehicle at 12:24 and 34 seconds.
Next entry, 27:33. Next, 12:27:33. That there's a message received from Jen McCabe. Jen! Here, exclamation point, question mark. You see that, sir?
Correct.
At this point, you have 2 people trying to find out. There are 2 communications, one from Jennifer McCabe.
Jennifer McCabe.
And one from Brian Higgins.
Brian Higgins?
Correct?
Correct.
This is 12:27:45. Device unlock with Face ID.
Correct.
And then right under that is 12:27:48. Read message. And is it correct that is the message that was sent by Jennifer McCabe?
Correct.
So at 12:27, we know that John O'Keefe is still alive. He opened his phone with his Face ID and read the message from Jen McCabe.
It does not appear in that timeline that you've drafted that message that was read was from Jennifer McCabe. Is
Correct.
It?
Correct.
27:50, device locked with lock button. Next entry down that, 29:37, Doppler pocket state. Does Doppler pocket state mean that someone takes an iPhone, for example, put it in their pocket,
No.
What does it mean?
So the only times that I was able to cause a pocket state to be recorded is when the camera was blocked and when the device received a phone call or was picked up in a particular way so that the device thinks that you're about to try to use it. If the camera is not blocked from the outset, then nothing's recorded at all. In order to get the pocket state cleared, the camera must be blocked to begin with. So again, you have to receive a phone call with it in your pocket and remove it in order to get a pocket state cleared.
Pocket state cleared. What did you conclude from 2937 to 2942 that it was in pocket state and then pocket state cleared?
There was some activity on the device that caused the pocket state to be checked. The device was in a pocket state up until 2942 when whatever was obstructing the camera was removed.
That's critical because we know by 1242, Brian Higgins has already attacked and killed John O'Keefe, but somehow the pocket state in his phone was cleared, which means something happened where it was no longer blocked.
Next entry is a call at 12:29:44, and that you state is an incoming call from Jen McCabe, so there you do indicate the name, and you say answered 7 seconds, correct?
Correct.
Is the phone at this time that there's an incoming call from Jen McCabe that is answered out in front of 34 Fairview?
Yes, it would be according to the location data.
Now we have at 12:29:44, the phone's out in front of 34 Fairview. There's an incoming call from Jen McCabe. It's answered. 7 seconds is how long the duration of the call was. Is that correct?
Correct.
12:29:51. Incoming call ends, and that's end of that 7-second duration.
Correct.
So you've concluded that this was a call that was indeed answered by the user of the phone, correct?
Correct.
That's big news because we never heard Hen McCabe actually say that she spoke with John at 12:27 a.m. According to the data, a call was placed and he picked it up. It's not clear whether he spoke with Hen at that time, but we know that Brian Higgins was just about to attack.
Is it correct that the message that was received from Jen McCabe, pull behind me?
Correct.
And then at 12:31:52, we're back to Doppler pocket state.
Correct.
12:31:56, start of health event, quote, 36 steps / 25 meters, correct?
Correct.
Is it accurate to say that because we're in the United States and we don't work on the metric system, that 25 meters is about 84 feet? Are you able to make that calculation?
It's approximately that, yeah.
Right. For this time, you stated that the device began moving for a period of 20 seconds, correct?
Yes.
12:32:03.
This is probably the most critical time in this entire case. At 12:31:56, a health event starts. That means that the phone is actually moving. And then for the next 30 to 40 seconds, we're going to see a bunch of movement on the phone. If this is true, and if John was alive doing this, there's no way Karen could have killed him because she's already approaching the house where John lives.
Pocket state cleared, correct?
Correct.
So does that mean that there's some human activity going on, interaction with the phone?
It could have been a received phone call. It could have been movement of the phone to be lifted.
Next, 12:32:04, device unlocked with Face ID, correct?
Correct.
And then at 12:32:05, it states application focus messages.
So at 32 minutes and 5 seconds, the messages application was in focus on screen. So it was the application that was being used by the user at that time.
12:32:06, and it states red message, quote, pull behind me, close quote.
This is so very critical. If John's exiting that vehicle about 12:25 and walking towards the house, he had to have been somewhere either in the house, in front of Higgy Bear's Jeep, or on the side of the house, or in the garage. In order for no one to actually see him. And we know that right after this health event stops, it's when old Brian Higgins attacked.
Correct?
Correct.
You don't indicate who that message is from in your timeline, but that's the message that was sent by Jennifer McCabe.
Did I hit it?
Correct.
Next entry is application lock, 12:32:09, and you've got here end application focus, and then you state device lock with lock button for the last time.
Correct.
So that's again pressing the side button on the iPhone that locks it.
Correct.
And that requires human conduct, human interaction with the phone, correct?
Correct.
At 12:32:16, that is 7 seconds after the lock. It's the end of the health event of 36 steps, 25 meters, and as we agreed, approximately 84 feet, correct?
Correct.
The device arrived outside 34 Fairview at 12:24:38, where it remained static for about 30 seconds. Do you see that, sir?
I do, yes.
At the end of it says, show the device moving west from the roadside towards the house. That's what you wrote, correct?
Correct.
Did you put that in your timeline?
I did not.
It's kind of important information, isn't it?
It certainly is, because the prosecution's theory is that Karen Reed backed up her SUV, slammed into John, and he was dead. However, we now know for the next 7 minutes, John is somewhere, most likely speaking with Higgy Bear and checking his phone at the same time, out of the view of anyone in the front yard and out of the view of anyone in the actual house.
I believe with the declining accuracy, the value that those records provided was more limited.
It was important enough for you to write it in your report, but you didn't put it in the timeline, correct?
Correct.
The next says, from the combination of device location and bearing, it does appear that the device started to move towards the house. The first part is again a statement that the device has started to move toward the house. This location data is immediately followed by 12 minutes of low accuracy records which offer no reliable location information. The 12 minutes is from 12:25. And so 12:25 plus 12 is 12:37, correct?
It's approximately that, yeah.
The range we're talking about here is from 12:25 through 12:37, correct?
Correct.
And finally, we now have a range of time for which Brian Higgins attacked and killed John O'Keefe between 12:25 and 12:37. And based upon the data, we can narrow that time frame down even further.
12:31:56, start of health event, 36 steps, 25 meters, and yesterday we agreed 25 meters is approximately 84 feet, correct?
Correct.
At that time period, 12:31:56, device began moving for a period of 20 seconds.
Yes.
From the combination of device location and bearing, it does appear that the device started to move toward the house. However, since the bearing information appears based on the location records rather than the direction the device is facing, it is difficult to say with any degree of certainty if the device actually moved. It is certainly possible that the device was at that location and was moving toward the house. That's possible, correct?
Based on location data, yes.
Bob's bouncing back and forth from the timeline that was presented to the jury and the actual report that was obviously made and presented to both sides. The discrepancies, and more important, what was omitted from the timeline that was presented to the jury most likely indicates some critical information for us who are trying to solve this crime.
The reason for such low accuracy location data at this time is not known, as there are many possible reasons why the accuracy was be reduced. There's a little grammar issue there.
Correct.
In fairness to you, sir, we do that when we write long reports. Your intention here, why the accuracy is reduced at this point,
yes.
correct?
Correct.
Thank you. This could include reasons such as the device entered a building-covered area, the result of weather conditions, geography, poor connectivity.
The section of Sir Whiffy's report specifically is referring to why there was such low accuracy during that window of time for which we described earlier. It's critical because we know they're out of sight from everyone. It could be on the side of the house, it could be in the garage, but we know that the phone is not getting good reception, and therefore the location data is going wild and is not very accurate during that particular time frame, which narrows down exactly when and where old Higgy Bear attacked.
Or interference, to name a few. So those are the reasons you gave, which could contribute to some low accuracy, correct?
Correct.
Interesting, the very first reason you gave is that the device could be entering a building,
Garage.
or covered area.
Garage.
And that phraseology could include a house. It could include a garage.
Garage.
Attached to the house, correct?
Correct.
And it could include the house at 34 Fairview, and it could include the garage attached to the house at 34 Fairview, because both of those are buildings or covered areas, correct?
Correct.
At 123813, the data centers on a location slightly closer to the house than the roadside, although several records show the same center coordinate with differing accuracy radii. This, in fact, was a depiction that you included in your report. Interesting and notable. You did not include that depiction in your timeline that you discussed with the jury yesterday, did you?
I did not know.
And he didn't because the phone could be anywhere within these circles, including this big old white one that encompasses the house, part of the garage, and the front yard.
But it was important enough for you to put that depiction in your report, correct?
Correct.
The larger white circle covers a substantial amount of the house at 34 Fairview, correct?
Correct.
The phone of John O'Keefe, according to this depiction, could be anywhere within the largest white circle, correct?
Correct.
Over the next few hours, the GPS coordinate and the associated accuracy radius jumps around numerous times between the house and the road.
Correct.
The phone of John O'Keefe could be in the house, correct?
Based on the low accuracy information, yes.
This data is important, but it doesn't actually tell us where John is. It tells us where his phone is. And at some point, Higgy Bear does attack and kill John O'Keefe. And obviously the phone and John O'Keefe are going to become separated. In the next video, we're going to dive deeper into the temperature of the battery of the cell phone and the questioning by Bob Alessi on cross-examination with regard to that. Before we leave each other today, we're going to get a primer from Sir Whiffy with regard to how he tested the battery temperature of John's cell phone.
So let's look at test scenario 1. You took an iPhone, if I'm remembering correctly, same model as John O'Keefe's?
I believe John O'Keefe's was iPhone 11. I used an iPhone 10.
And what does that matter?
You state that you placed the iPhone inside a freezer.
Correct.
This is your experiment. When did you do test scenario 1?
This is a good question. It was sometime probably in December last year.
You took the phone, you put it inside a freezer. What was the temperature of the freezer?
I actually don't know.
Why would that matter?
What is freezing in Fahrenheit?
Don't know, but it's 0 degrees Celsius.
Would you agree that 2 degrees Fahrenheit is the freezing point in Fahrenheit?
I honestly wouldn't know.
What an expert.
Okay, fair enough.
Where did you go to school, and what, if any, degree did you receive then?
Okay, I didn't get a degree. I'm from the UK, and then joined the police in 2004 as a response officer. In 2020, I left Calgary Police Service and began working at Cellbrite as the senior digital intelligence expert.
As you've progressed through the field, do you continue to take classes?
I've not taken a class now since I actually joined Cellbrite.
Do you teach courses?
I don't teach any actual courses.
Do you ever write papers about the subject?
I do. So I have a blog.
Have you ever done any programming?
Yes, again, I'm not an official programmer with Cellbrite. Ian Whiffin. I didn't get a degree. I'm from the UK. I don't teach any actual courses. I've not taken a class now since I actually joined Cellbrite. I don't teach any actual courses. So I have a blog.
And what a hell of a blog it must be to become a senior investigator from being a little beat cop in Canada and the UK. However, no matter what, we are never, ever going to stop producing these videos until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice. This crime was very simple to solve because it took place within a very small area over a very short period of time with a very limited amount of suspects. One or more of these 10 people has to be the killer of John O'Keefe. That's how easy this is. Once you remove the kids and the McCabes, you're down to just 3 suspects: Brian Albert, Higgy Bear, and Chloe. Since Chloe's a good dog, she didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I'm a good dog. I didn't do it.
So that leaves just 2 suspects, Brian Albert and Higgy Bear. But of the 2 Brians, only one had the means, motive, and opportunity to kill John O'Keefe. And that's our old cuddly but violent Higgy Bear.